Hey guys, so I got some exciting news. Tomorrow I'll be starting my diet with Nathan Payton. So he emailed me probably Wednesday with a questionnaire about the foods that I like, foods that I don't like, if I have any allergies, just normal. Do I have any health issues? And he put a food plan together for me with different options. So we will be starting tomorrow officially, but we have all the information now. Tomorrow morning at probably whenever I get up and get going, I'll be sending him my current weight, and then he asked me to just keep a log of what I am eating, because he actually gives you choices of things that you can eat. Let me do this set and we'll talk about that a little bit more. All right, so I'll go over a little bit with what I'm doing today. So actually for my workout today, I am doing 10 sets of 3 at 70% with bands. After I get done with this, I'll be doing weighted dips. I'll be doing 3 sets of 5. Then I'll do 5 max chin-up sets. And a lot of times those, because I am so heavy, I'll start out my warm-ups at least using a band to help me with my pull-ups. Maybe in one of these episodes I'll show you how to do my pull-ups. But even at 250, I can still do a few pull-ups. I think I can do 5, but the way I do pull-ups, I don't hang from the bar all the time. I always go back down to the start position, which is my feet on the floor, because your hands get tired. I can do 5 pull-ups or so, depending on the day. I'll do side delt raises, 5 sets of 10, and then 3 sets of 8 with hammer curls. So that's my training for today. So as we do this blog or vlog or whatever it's called, I'll be talking about my diet, the weight I'm losing, how I'm feeling, and then I'll also be talking about my workouts. Let me do this other set and I'll talk to you in a second. All right, so I want to kind of talk to you guys about some goals that I have for this diet. Let me check my notes here. So, okay, actually I think I'm going to tell you first, so some things that I told him when I started out. He asked me what my goal weight was, and I told him around 215, 225. But I think next time I talk to him, I'm going to actually tell him my goal really isn't a weight. I don't care really what the scale says. I care about a couple different things. One thing is I want to get my waist to under 40 inches, and I want to be as strong as possible, and I want to feel good with lots of energy. If I can do that at 250, that would be awesome. That's not going to happen. But so whatever weight I get to is what I get to. But if I can reach those other goals, that's the important part. I told him I wanted to try and eat gluten-free. And I'm interested in gut health. I've heard people say that the gut is the second brain. I think it's important to have good gut health. I think it just gives you, better energy, better mood. I think gut health is really important. A lot of people say that gut health can be attributed to thyroid problems, and some people say it's the gut first and then the thyroid. Other people think it's the thyroid, then the gut. I don't know, but I know I have a problem with both, and I want to do what I can to remedy that. Let me do another set real quick. Okay, so the first day, he is going to want me to give him my current weight. I will be taking measurements, and I'll be sharing these measurements with you. So tomorrow, I'm sure I'm going to wake up, I'm going to be somewhere around 250, 247, 250, 251. I'm not sure. Some other things, and he also wants a picture front and side for body composition. I actually took measurements, and I'm going to share those with you guys. My measurements, the ones that I thought were important at least. So I did waist. Now this is waist at the belly button, and that's usually where I carry most of my weight. My waist right now is 46.5 inches. My chest at the nipples, don't get too excited about that, guys. 49 3/4. Biceps flexed, I've measured my right bicep, 16 1/2 inches. And then my right thigh flexed, 24 3/4. So those are my measurements. Let me hit another set here. All right, so I got 175 on the bar with orange bands, medium grip for speed. So I'm going to be getting interrupted in this a little bit because I need to do it within 1 or 2 minutes. So I'm going to try and keep the pace and be able to talk to you guys. Okay, so now the other thing is going to be I am hoping to increase my strength while losing some weight. I'm pretty heavy, so I would say at this 250 mark, I should be able to gain some strength while I'm losing weight. I think it's possible for a couple different reasons. One thing is I am pretty heavy, and I assume there's going to be some water weight come off and some other things, and also I'll still be able to gain strength. The other thing is I'm hoping that this is going to help the creatine has helped a lot, but kind of helping my mood, which then affects my lift and makes your lifts better if you're just in a better state of mind. But I'll go over my lifts. So my numbers right now, I would say my squat is probably anywhere from 360 to 395. I did a 350 box squat with my safety squat bar, and I have hit 395 before. So I did that once, I don't know, probably a year ago or whatever it was. So, I mean, if I get to 400, 405, something like that, I definitely know my squat's gone up. My bench, 295. I really like to get to 315. Deadlift, which is my worst lift by far. I've been struggling to stay at 320. My best ever is probably 350, 355. I did pull 350. I think I had 5 pounds in me. I didn't go after it because with me, my deadlift, I can go from feeling really good to flat. I mean, it just hits me like a truck. I'm going great, and then bang, that's it, and it drops 30 pounds. So I have to be very careful with my deadlift, how hard I push myself. All right, overhead press. I hit 200 on the overhead press a week or two ago. I'm not sure exactly what it was. So those are my current lifts, and I'm hoping to improve all those. Let me hit another set here. All right, so hey, if you guys enjoy this, if you guys are interested in heavy weights and horsepower, if you could subscribe to the channel. We'll be posting these videos on Facebook, but we also have a YouTube channel, and it's also called My Redeye Life. If you guys could subscribe, hit the dingly bell on the side there that gives you notifications, that'd be great. I would really appreciate that. All right, so I think I already basically talked about my workout today, which was next on my list. Okay, so some of the foods. So I have gotten a diet plan from him, so I know some of the things that he is letting me eat, and I wouldn't say surprised. I guess I'd say he's making this doable. I mean, there's cookies in there, there's pizza in there, there's pop, egg which I mean is kind of like a breakfast muffin, of course without the bun. So, just having those few things in there to help through some of the cravings and not keep it too monotonous is kind of neat. Now, of course, it's not regular pizza. It's a gluten-free pizza, and you can only eat, so much, so you keep your portion size reasonable, but still it's half the pizza, so that's not bad. Being able to, Mountain Dew is still in there. Now it's not regular Mountain Dew, it's Diet Mountain Dew, but still, to have those things, to me, is going to help in a couple different ways. Being on a diet, the mental aspect of it, always having to eat healthy or eat something certain this or certain that, at some point, I'm sure would create some mental fatigue. So having these options in there will help with the process of sticking to the diet. Because here's the thing, folks. The diet that's good is the one you'll stick to. If you're not going to stick to it, it doesn't matter. So I think he makes it very doable, and I'm excited about it. Let me do another set. All right, so the other thing I wanted to kind of talk about was some diets that I've done before that have worked to help me lose weight. And I'll tell you kind of the pros and cons to each of them. So I'd say the first time that I lost a pretty decent amount of weight, I was probably 250, and I was probably 39 or 40, so it's been 5-6 years ago. Actually, when I first started training, I basically just counted calories. I bought the fitness, or didn't buy it. Got the app, the Fitness Pal, and used that, and just went by their recommendation. Ate lots of chicken. I ate lots of chicken because the thing I noticed with the calorie thing, which I'm sure is important in any diet, is you have these calories and you don't want to waste them. Eating dense foods that will make you full was extremely important for me. So that meant I ended up eating a lot of chicken, which was great. I mean, I got strong on it. I felt pretty good. The problem is you can only eat so much chicken. And eventually it got old, and now I really don't like eating chicken breast. It's just not as appealing as it used to be after you eat that much of it. I guess the other problem with that is I'm not much of a chef. So if somebody says eat chicken or eat steak or eat this or eat that, I mean, I throw it in a pan, put some butter in it or something, I cook it. I don't really season it too much. I don't have other recipes. So they get bland pretty quick. I'm hoping through this process with him that, you know, and he's already showed that with the pizza. You know, he's put pizza on there. There's some enchiladas that are made out of chicken. There's just a bunch of different things, and it comes out of a box. I don't really have to prepare it. I don't have to make the meal. It's already prepared out of the box, which is helpful to me because I don't know where to find those things. I don't want to research those things. I hate grocery shopping. So to have to sit down and research and find all these new recipes and then find who sells them, it's just not. I went shopping yesterday on a Saturday, which was a bad idea, and it was just not something that I like to do. So it's going to be helpful to have these different things. He specifies what products, what amount, and so that makes it easier for me. Shopping's bad enough, let alone having to do recipes. And with the Fitness Pal, it just says here's, you know, it tells you what. Well, I'm sure a lot of you have seen the Fitness Pal one. You know, you can you can type in what you have, or you can scan the barcode or whatever. Well, for me, you know, I don't know all the different options there are for foods necessarily, and the ones that I found were high calorie or whatever, and it just didn't work that well in the long run because I was basically eating the same food all the time, which was hard to do. Another diet I've done is basically a low carb or carnivore. Let me do another set. All right, so for the carnivore, that was another one that I enjoyed that diet because it was simple. Basically, I ate ribeye steak every day, and I would just have it once or twice a day. I was skipping breakfast, and then I would eat maybe a steak with a salad for lunch, and then I'd have another steak at night, maybe with some cottage cheese. And that actually worked really good. I mean, the weight fell off. I mean, it came off quick. I mean, it was melting away. But the same thing with that is, your stomach would be full, but I still felt like I was starving. So, of course, there must have just been something that my body needed that it wasn't getting. So I was probably able to do that. I think the first time I did it, I was able to do that for about 7 days. I actually felt better. Actually, my energy level increased, and I felt better until you got to that 6th or 7th day, And at that point, you're starting to notice there's something missing, and I don't really know what it is. I mean, you hear lots of things on the internet, and if you want to spend the time to research all that stuff and get information on it and know what percentages do this or do that, it probably works. But as far as the fiber you're supposed to have, or protein, a protein, a vegetable, carbs, having that correct mixture is where I come short. It was kind of like my training, and why I needed to get help with my programming was, like, when I first started weight training, I got on a program, it worked, and I wanted to just stay with that program. So I'm constantly beating myself up, doing 3 sets of 5, backing off, ramping back up, backing off, ramping back up, and just basically hammering myself all the time, the same thing. And yeah, of course, at first it worked really good, but that progress stops and you need... Sorry, I got cut off there. So kind of like the diet is the same thing as my training. Like I was explaining, I just keep hammering the same thing. And that's the same thing with the diet. I find something that works, you find these certain foods in this certain way, and you keep doing it, and you keep doing it, and then all of a sudden, you can't do it anymore for whatever reason. You get sick of the food, you get sick of counting calories. The foods aren't meeting other needs that your body needs, and you're not really sure what foods to put in there to get rid of that craving or help boost your energy or whatever the case may be. So for me, hiring a personal trainer to help me work through those things and kind of figure out, okay, I need to be eating this many carbs, or I need to be eating this much fiber or this much protein. Because I think we all know, I mean, you hear eat high protein. A lot of times people say 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. So that put me up between 200 and 250 grams of protein a day that I need to be eating. And the only way I really know how to do that is to eat 2 1-pound ribeye steaks. They're 100 grams of protein each. When I was doing that, I felt pretty good for a while. So with this, I'm going to be able to see what he's feeding me. I'll get an idea of some of the ratios he's using so that I can kind of understand what's going on too. Plus, here's the thing, it's like being in a fishbowl. When you're in a fishbowl, you can only see. Sometimes you need somebody else from the outside looking in to kind of help you navigate through things. And so I think that's why it's going to be important for me to have basically a personal trainer for eating, just like you might hire a personal trainer for your workouts. They help you, they give you the cues you need. They help you with your form. That all relates to your eating. Those same things, let me just give a couple of examples if I can make some good ones. Maybe giving a cue is some of the food you're eating. Hey, make sure you're not starving yourself for these certain foods, because it's not going to last if you can't enjoy life. The other thing might be you need to eat 200 grams of protein a day. Well, you don't just have to eat 2 1-pound ribeyes. You can eat this kind of fish or this kind of turkey or this kind of bison. Oh, actually, that's one of the things that's in there, bison. I've been thinking about trying bison and just haven't. He put it in my programming, so I'm kind of interested in trying bison meat. It's going to be interesting for me to find a way to cook it good, but we'll work at that. Let me do another quick set. All right, so I think this video is getting to be long enough. I'm hoping I hit all the points. I made a list. I want these. Okay, so just some general things that he's told me, and I don't think I'm sharing any secrets here because these are all fairly common in dietary interests when somebody's trying to lose weight. I mean, so I'm going to be eating 5 meals a day, couple 2 to 3 hours apart, trying to keep it to just water. Now, like I said, he did put some Diet Mountain Dew in there, and those are kind of for cravings, which is a good idea. Now, another thing that he put in there is popcorn. It's actually a protein popcorn, and I can't remember the name of it. But he put some popcorn in there. Actually, I'm gonna see if I can find it because that was kind of a good one. I can't seem to find it. It's probably on a different page. But to be able to have the cookie, the popcorn. Now, of course, he portions those, scales those back. I'm not eating those every meal, of course, but it's nice to have that stuff. It says when I'm cooking, I can use almost any seasoning as long as they don't have salt, mayo, or white sauces. I'm just trying to hit on some highlighted stuff. Basic rule of thumb: I can only eat what he gives me to eat. But see, within those choices, he gives me a protein, some carbs, and some vegetables, and he has a list of each. So at lunch, break time basically, breakfast, break time, lunch, midday snack, dinner, there's a list of proteins, a list of vegetables, and a list of carbohydrates, I guess you would say. And I have a list of all those, and I can take that combination and put those together for each of those meals. Now, I'm not going to share all the secrets, but I'm not eating each of those things there's always protein in the meal. Or I guess I should say fruits and vegetables are not necessarily in every meal. So you can tell that he's timing things. He's putting certain things in certain groups, depending on what your load is during the day, I'm assuming. So I'm not eating protein, vegetables, and fruit every meal. All right, well, I don't know if I'm going to check in with you guys once a week or a couple times a week. I will be checking in with him. Wednesday mornings will be my weigh-in day, and Wednesdays is when he's going to let me know what my cheat meal will be for the weekend. Something else he asked me about is what days of the week do I work out? And I would say generally I work out Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. Or I'll have to time my cheat meals according to whatever my training's doing. And so I'm sure he'll let me know more about that. I don't have all that figured out either. Like I said, he sent me one food plan, told me to check in with him Monday morning, send him the pictures and what my current weight is. And then from there, I'm sure he will tell me more. So, all right, guys. Well, I hope you found this interesting. And like I said, and we've already done a little infomercial. If you do find this interesting, you think somebody else would find this interesting. If you know somebody who's interested in training, living a healthy lifestyle, and fast cars, this is the page to this is the page to show people. So, like I said, if you could subscribe to this Facebook page, if you could subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit the little diggly-doo button up at the right-hand side, that'd be great. All right, guys, until next time, we'll see you.